As 2024 sets in, many Americans are left facing a stark reality. 67% lack a concrete plan to protect their assets and provide for loved ones. For African American families, the number is even higher. But one woman is on a mission to change that. Joining me now is attorney Crystal Richardson. Good morning, Crystal.
Good morning and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. So I'm so glad you're talking about this because this probably should be a resolution for most adults to get your estate in order. What percentage of U.S. adults have created any sort of estate planning documents, and how does this even impact their financial security? I think a lot of people think, well, I'm going to be gone, so I'm not going to worry about it.
Yes, well, 34% of U.S. adults have an estate plan. According to a 2023 Wills and Estate Planning study, only about 1 of 3 people have created an estate plan. And that impacts financial security because estate planning is one of the most fundamental ways to preserve wealth in between generations. Inheritance can be used for financial emergencies, down payments on homes, school tuition, for example.
And so I think one of the things that's holding a lot of people back whenever you do these, I mean, some people don't want to answer these questions. They don't want to think about when I'm gone, like what I want to happen with, you know, money or anything. With children, I mean, because you're a lot of times making all these decisions at once, right? Like in a will or an estate. So, I mean, what would you tell people is the first step that if they're setting this resolution and they want it to be done by, say, March, what's the first thing they should do?
Well, first of all, if you don't create an estate plan, the government has one for you, and that may not align with your wishes and desires. So the first thing you should do is certainly consult with an attorney so that you make sure you legally document your wishes in the proper way. You don't want to make any mistakes, have any omissions and things like that that could be detrimental to you and your family's legacy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we probably don't have enough to talk about sort of what the government's plan is, but I mean, you know, things will be set in motion and happen even if that's not exactly how you intended for them to be. So talk to us a little bit more about estate planning, how it's more than just a financial document, and how it could sort of serve as a roadmap to family peace. We mentioned especially for African American families who are even less likely to do these sorts of estate planning things.
Absolutely. When you have a comprehensive estate plan, it can provide directives and guidance to your loved ones, family members, and third parties. This creates peace of mind for your family, minimizes family conflict and chaos. And a comprehensive estate plan can include provisions that take care of your healthcare decisions, for example, your finances, who's going to pay your bills if something happens to you. And it also provides for the distribution of your assets should you pass away, which again can minimize that family conflict and confusion.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when we've done stories about this before, we kind of tell people you're not necessarily doing it for yourself. You're doing it also to help out your loved ones. I mean, if you've got 3 or 4 kids and each of them thinks they know exactly what you would have wanted, then you're going to create a lot of conflict when you're gone with everybody trying to do something different, right?
Absolutely. And I think that is one of the biggest pitfalls that people can take when estate planning. It's not just about the legal documents. It's also about having that conversation with your loved ones, because I guarantee you every one of your kids or family members is going to have a different version of what they thought you might have wanted. So it's important to not only legally document those wishes, but to have those important conversations and have them often because your intentions could change.
Yeah, I mean, I think money is probably also one of the biggest things holding people back. They think they're just not prioritizing that and saying, I don't really want to go spend hundreds of dollars to get started on this at an attorney. I mean, is really that the best way? Or we know that there are these sort of legal documents you can go online. I mean, what are some of the things that people need to be wary of?
Absolutely. I think that having something in place is better than not having anything at all, right? So even if you start with a will-based plan, there's certainly a number of platforms that you can go online and complete some of these documents that have like automated questions to help you create and draft these documents. And then when you get to a point, I do think that you should consult with an attorney because, again, the worst thing you can do do is create something with the intent of doing one thing, and then you find out later that the legal effect is something different, and it can be detrimental to you and your family members.
Absolutely, absolutely. Can you tell us about any trends specific to our area here in Houston in terms of estate planning?
Well, I will say that estate planning particularly impacts Black and Brown communities because we are the most impacted by like racial and economic disparities. In fact, the 2022 Federal Reserve Survey, the median family for white families is $285,000 a year, and Black and Latinx families is $44,900 and $61,600 respectively. And so to bridge that economic and racial gap, I do think it is important to create an estate plan. 70% of Black and Latinx families do not have one. So it's very important to preserve that intergenerational wealth by creating an estate plan.
All right, Crystal Richardson, we appreciate your time this morning. Thanks for talking to us about the issue. It's an important one.
Thank you so much.